Ready to conquer Hollywood studios like a pro? Find out more on this week's episode of the Theme Park Hipster Show. Hey, Theme Park Hipsters! It's your host, NikkyJ, the owner of ThemeParkHipster.com, where I help you plan the best solo theme park vacation with the latest tips, reviews, personal stories, and more. Guys, I'm so happy that this new year is going so well and it's kicked off so great. And you guys have the Theme Park Hipster app downloaded and we're all just making this big solo theme park community happen. I'm so happy. As you can see or hear, because you're listening, we are going to go over the perfect itinerary that you can have for your Hollywood Studios trip. Now, I'm saying perfect, but it's perfect for me. And as you may not know, if you have been hiding under a rock, the new Star Wars section of Hollywood Studios is making this itinerary a little bit complicated. If you would have asked me a year ago, it would have been simple. I would have told you to get there, or you could have came later and just leave. But now we kind of got to break things down so that you can maximize your time and still be able to, do some other stuff at Disney World on the same day. So if you're not familiar with Disney's Hollywood Studios, this theme park kind of takes you back into that classic sunny days of a California famous city like Hollywood. Of course, Hollywood Studios was once known as Disney MGM Studios when it opened back in 1989. And at that time, and up until recently, it was known as a great half-day park when you're visiting Disney. And now, as mentioned earlier with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, you may have to do this park in a whole day or almost a whole day. So right now, let's just go through it, dive on into this itinerary of Hollywood Studios. So the first thing that you want to do before you even get there is, of course, you want to have your tickets already booked either through people like Destinations in Florida, which we'll leave that link in today's show notes, or you just want to go straight to Disney's website and just go ahead and get your tickets. You want to have that done before you get there. You're going to also want to make sure that you review the map, kind of get a lay of the land before you get to Hollywood Studios so that you can kind of map out your day. And as I go through each ride, you'll kind of be able to tell how your path is going to be that day. Now, in the old days, I would give you just a straight kind of a circle path, but because we have Star Wars Land and we have Toy Story Land, and then you want to go get on Tower of Terror, you might have to be doing a little bit of crossing back and forth at the park. But luckily, Hollywood Studios is not as large as a theme park like Animal Kingdom. So let's get started. When you first start out your day, you're going to want to get there early, like right before road drop, especially with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge open now. At the time of this recording, we are currently using the boarding pass system, meaning that when you go into the gates of Hollywood Studios, you will go on your phone immediately into the My Disney Experience app, and you're going to make your boarding pass reservation. You have to do that only in the park. Now, that might change in the future, but at this time, which is the early part of the new year, you're going to have to make your reservation inside the park. No fast passes at this time. That means you have to either, one, you're going to want to stay at a Disney resort so you can get that extra magic hour perk, or two, you're just going to want to get there about an hour before the park opens. If it's slowing down, then I would say get there about 30 minutes before the park open and just wait. You get in, get your boarding pass for Rise of the Resistance, the new incredible attraction, and then you're going to head right over to Smuggler's Run. Now, that is starting your day, getting there early, starting your day at Star Wars Land. Once you have discovered Galaxy's Edge, you've rode the two incredible rides, and you have went to Runto Roasters and had a snack there. You had some breakfast. You're going to head over to Toy Story Land. Toy Story Land is another popular place. You're going to want your Fast Pass reservation booked for Slinky Dog Dash if that is something you really, 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 really want to get on. Because right now, the Hollywood Studios Fast Pass tiers have all the good rides in Tier 1. And when I speak of the tiers, when you are booking your fast passes, they have 2 tiers. One is usually like those hard-hitting attractions that everybody loves, and 2 is kind of like the second tier. Get it? Second tier. So you can only pick 1 from the first tier, and you can pick 2 from the second tier. So at this time, for me, because I go to Hollywood Studios a lot, I would probably just get on Tower of Terror as my first tier ride. But if you haven't been to Hollywood Studios, then I say definitely do Slinky Dog Dash as your tier 1. And while you're at Toy Story Land, you're going to get on the alien swirling saucers and Toy Story Mania, which is the point and kind of shoot type of ride. You're going to do that at the Slinky Dog. Hopefully at this time, you'll be able to head over to Tower of Terror and ride that ride. The line shouldn't be too crazy, but at this point, it may be about 35 to 40 minutes. Once you have rode that ride, then you're going to head to Rockin' Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. That ride is probably going to have a long line. That one and in Tower of Terror, they kind of go hand in hand with the wait time that you'll have to do. So it's kind of hard to predict to choose one over the other because now they're both in tier 1 and it sucks so bad, but that's what it is right now. So once you leave Tower of Terror and you head over to Rockin' Roller Coaster, you're going to get in that line. And if you are a solo traveler like we usually are, you're going to do single rider line. Keep in mind that during this time, let's say you don't want to go straight to Tower of Terror. You want to risk it. You want to say, hey, I had Star Tours lined up as a fast pass, and I had, let's just say, Indiana Jones or something as a fast pass. You did those, and now your fast passes have opened up. You may be able to score a fast pass for Tower of Terror or Rockin' Roller Coaster, so you don't even have to wait in the line. But I'm just going to keep it simple today because there's a lot of variables. So far, we have discovered Galaxy's Edge. We have went over to Toy Story Land. We went over to Tower of Terror, rode that, and then we did Rockin' Roller Coaster. After you have done Rockin' Roller Coaster, it is time for you to take a little break and watch a show. You said a show? Come on, guys, you're at Hollywood Studios. They have shows. They're just starting to get into the point where the rides are actually about to outweigh the show. So you're going to watch Beauty and the Beast because why not? You're there. It's right across from Rockin' Roller Coaster. So you're going to head over there. After Beauty and the Beast, it's time to grub, and my place of choice for grubbing is Tune In Lounge. You could do the actual restaurant where it's kind of like set in the 50s, and you have like your mama or your auntie coming around and telling you to eat your peas, and so it's a lot of that type of vibe. And they sell a lot of Southern and comfort food like meatloaf and fried chicken, but my favorite thing there are the cocktails. They used to have one called Grandma's Picnic Punch. They don't have that one anymore, but there's usually some cute little names there, and they're actually pretty good. And I love sitting at the bar talking to the bartenders. That's my favorite part. After your stomach is nice and full and your adult libations have you feeling good, it's time to head over and watch Indiana Jones' Epic Stunt Spectacular. Now, I'm still a classic Hollywood Studios fan, so I love when Disney takes you behind the scenes to show you how movies are created. That's kind of like the old days of the Hollywood Studios and Universal Studios. They used to do that, and I still love that. Plus, Indiana Jones is a Disney classic, and people love it. And the show is still incredible to this day. It has been there since about the beginning of the opening of Hollywood Studios, and it is still incredible, and you can even volunteer to be a part of the show. So you got to do that. After you have enjoyed Indiana Jones' Epic Stunt Spectacular, it's time to ride Star Tours. Now, if you have your Fast Pass, you can skip to the line, but if you don't, usually, you don't have to worry too much about the line being crazy. They did recently update it to some of the scenes from the recent Star Wars film. So I saw it the other day to quite a surprise because I didn't even know they did that. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. So definitely do that. After your galactic adventure, you're going to head over and watch Muppet 3D Vision Show. This will be a nice break from the Florida heat if it's that time of the year. And it's just classic Jim Henson, so you'll like that. After the Muppet 3D show, you're going to head and watch The Little Mermaid. Yay! No yay? Okay, whatever. But come on, it's classic Disney. You don't get this anymore. Even over there at Universal Studios Florida, you don't get those classic shows anymore. The things that, I don't know, maybe I'm getting older now and I kind of appreciate those things. I like a mixture of my theme park day. I like to do something crazy, but then I like to take breaks and get some AC, because it's more hot days than there are cooler days here in Florida. Plus, I like when theme park takes some of the famous content that they created that exploded and they bring it to you for you to watch. I know Hollywood Studios has always been that theme park at Disney that will bring in some classic things. Back in the day, they used to deal with Hercules a lot and Aladdin. And so you could see that a lot in the parks, and I still miss that. And that's why I say just go ahead and check out Little Mermaid. Most of these shows are very short, so you get the abbreviated version of the movie. After you have enjoyed The Little Mermaid, it's time to head over to Star Wars Lunch Bay and meet some of the Star Wars characters like Kylo Ren and others. After that, when you're coming out, you might catch the March of the First Order. They're usually walking dead in the center of Hollywood Studios. You might catch that. And after that, just go ahead and enjoy Frozen sing-along. They have a Frozen sing-along at Hollywood Studios. That could be another opportunity for you to take a break. Now it is at this time where I say, let's start having a nice early dinner. You can do this either two ways. You can either go to the drive-in theme type of restaurant where you sit in like these old cars, kind of like 50s, 60s cars, and you're looking at a big screen showing films, kind of like you're outdoors. I don't know if you remember the scene in Twister. Kind of like that, but with older cars and older movies. And you get to enjoy your dinner there. Or if you're like me, and if it's around happy hour time, I'm going to the Brown Derby, but not inside the restaurant. For me, I'm going to sit outside, and they have like nice happy hour, get that Cobb salad. One time I got a martini tasting where I had 3 little martinis to taste. It was my tasting. Instead of a wine tasting, I had a martini tasting. Don't judge me, okay? I do Disney adult way, okay? It's my break, okay? It's my therapy. After your stomach is feeling good and you are feeling good, you can stick around and watch the fireworks show, which is called the Star Wars, A Galactic Spectacular. Now, you can do this or you can watch Fantasmic. The only issue with this is that sometimes, rare occasions, but sometimes the two can run at the same time. I don't understand why, but they do. And you have to choose. So I probably would just go with Star Wars. Personally. But yeah, that's a good way to end your night. And if it's still not too late, or you can sneak back to Galaxy's Edge, I just say go out there, check it out at nighttime, get the ambiance, because there's a different ambiance in that section at nighttime, as well as Toy Story Land. So there you have it. That's your Hollywood Studios itinerary. Let's see if we can kind of wrap this up and piece it back together. So we know that we're going to get there early with our tickets in hand already. We're going to get our boarding pass for Rise of the Resistance, and we're going to head back to Galaxy's Edge, discover it, ride Smuggler's Run. Hopefully by that time you're called. If not, move on to Toy Story Land. You're going to explore that. At the Toy Story Land, you're going to head into the quote unquote Hollywood section of the park, which is going to house Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. You're going to have Rocking Roller Coaster, Beauty and the Beast. Then you're going to head for lunch at Tune In Lounge, Star Tours. You're going to do Indiana Jones. Then you're going to go watch a few shows like Muppet 3D Vision, A Little Mermaid, the Frozen Sing-Along. Then you're going to do some more Star Wars activities like meet Kylo Ren. You're going to watch the March of the First Order. And then you're going to cap your night off either in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, or you're going to watch the Star Wars A Galactic Fireworks Show. That is it, guys. You have officially completed Hollywood Studios. Now that you have your itinerary, I want you to go over to the Theme Park Hipsters Facebook group, or you can come over into the Theme Park Hipster app, into the forum community section, and let us know what your perfect Hollywood Studios itinerary looks like. Once again, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to the Theme Park Hipster Show. Please remember to review and rate this podcast. That way others can find it and I can continue to bring you hacks tailored just for you. And I want you to know that you are my friend and you are my family, whether you know that or not. And until next time, happy park hopping hipsters. The content on the Theme Park Hipster Show represents my own and not those of any organizations or activity mentioned. I am just someone here who likes to share my own stories to you and hope that I can help you have the best vacation ever.